Okay, I know a lot of people talk about what's going on with the Quaartling and Kino Casino. Okay, simply put, Kino Casino, they have a channel on Kick, and they bring up people like the Quaartling, DSP, Ethan Ralph, Styx Hexen. They did a whole thing with Melanie Mac that involved Razor Fist, the Quaartling, and Styx, where they were defending her after they attacked JD Smash. You can go watch that. But here, essentially what was going on is they like to bring up things these people say on their channels or what they do, and they poke fun at it. But with the Quaartling, essentially what happened was Quaartling brings his wife up a lot and says her name, and they show where he at one point I guess his wife had surgery, and they thought it was wrong that he left her at the hospital and didn't bring her home, made her while she was recovering. And again, I guess she went out and she got pizza. He found out he was mad at her for that. But here he brings up something about a guy he's known for years, and he has a connection to a lady involved with that sex cult where the chick from Smallville went to prison. Their leader's in prison for life. He's a convicted pedophile, sex trafficker, and all that. This woman knows that, and he's apparently been friends with Jeremy, gives him a name, and then he said on a stream with Melanie Mac, he gave himself a name. I don't want them taking this down because I know they probably don't know me, but it's the same thing that he made fun, called somebody else out about. So when they said this person, the nickname that he goes by, and said what he called himself, he was talking to it was Kiwi Farms, Josh Moon, and he said, I can make a call and I could take their channel down. Well, the channel that he took down was called Kino Casino Clips, and it was actually run by their editor, not them. And so they came under attack, and so essentially most people that have been following what's going on have been responding. Like Legal Mindset said they could sue them, but it's an expensive thing if you sue. But also they're hoping that other YouTubers can get YouTube to undo this ban and termination and bring their editor's channel back, because they didn't violate any rules. They didn't do anything wrong. And I was watching Neurotic talk about this. He said he doesn't know much about what's going on. This one guy came in his super chat and said that brought up about Razor Fist. Okay, so, attacked the Kino Casino, said that Jeremy was right for getting rid of the channel, which they did nothing wrong. They did nothing that he accused him of. And this brought up about Razor Fist was when reason they went after him had to do with Melanie Mac saying that any gamer that likes hot women in gaming is a degenerate. Razor Fist came in attacking JD Smash, and other people started looking into him. They found out that he had his ex-girlfriend. They found out that she was born in 2000. She admitted, and 2015, he was contacting her. He gave away his birthday. It was really easy to figure out because he put out, I guess that he was 3 years old when Alice Cooper came to where he was born, where he lived, which may have been Phoenix, Arizona, and they were able to figure out how old he was at the time that he was communicating with his then girlfriend, who was 15, making him a groomer, and he didn't answer questions. He ran away, and it turned out that he was verbally abusive to her. Didn't like the fact that she was working, and apparently he made a video of himself jerking off. Get mad at her. She went back home. So and then when asked about it, he kind of fled the scene for a while. He's back now, and and then there's Ethan Van Sciver. As long as what Jeremy did is not stopped, and it is him. It's obvious it was him because what he said, I can take their channel down with one call. Then he tries to act like, well, I'm showing you I didn't do it. He said he can do it with one call. He said this to Josh Moon. Josh Moon told him not to. It was wrong, and then he's basically spurging out because he didn't like the fact that essentially he called himself a cuck. And he said that he brought this friend of his who has a criminal record to sleep with his wife. And he said this to Melanie Mack and to Hannah Claire that and of course she jumped in to defend him. Ugh, I can't stand her. She's a phony and all. Reads the Bible, yet she has all dresses like she's almost essentially a streetwalker. I mean, she wears skimpy clothes and a very petite woman, not very attractive. Her husband left her. I guess she got remarried. That's not the point. They didn't do anything wrong, and they're thinking they might take legal action. And Legal Mindset, in fact, jumped in and said, yeah, they do have a case against Jeremy for what he's done, because to tell that you're going to do it, even though they've done nothing wrong, they didn't violate any rules, they didn't do what he's accused him of. They essentially just showed his video on their channel on Kick, and they did commentary, which is perfectly within their right to do. And they made fun of him for saying certain things and going, "Oh, buddy," with the triangle. And they did this to DSP. They did this to Ethan Ralph. They did this to Sticks. None of those others went after him, said attack them to get their channel down. Even Ethan Ralph said told Jeremy don't do it. The thing is, all anybody said is just apologize for what you do, talk to YouTube, get the channel back. He won't do it. His career's over. I mean, he started attacking, like he said, Jeremy's channel and then Neurotic's channel their subscribers were down, which isn't true. They have possibly two of the most popular channels on YouTube. I don't talk about this, but I thought it was... I've watched them. I like watching them. I don't agree with everything they say, but they're entertaining. And, Phil's who he is. He's basically a guy that goes, give me your... he basically begs for money. He's a beggar. And, he's somewhat entertaining in small bits. Melanie Mack's not, Jeremy's not. I used to watch him and realize he's just a fat idiot. He literally, oh my God, this is what pissed me off. When Hassan Piker's one thing. He doesn't give a shit what's going on in the Middle East, but at least he does do some cursory when it comes to what Israel's doing and everything. He does do some things. But then he gets other things wrong, like the whole thing with communist Russia. He doesn't know shit about it. But at least Hassan Piker, and this is all for clout for him, but Jeremy is particularly, and Destiny are both the two of the biggest fucking idiots in the world. Destiny's so stupid because he looks everything up on Wikipedia, and essentially he got called out by Norm Finkelstein and called in, a fantastic moron, because he says all you do is look on Wikipedia, you don't do any actual research about anything. But think about Jeremy, that pissed me off, because I noticed this. He wants to, he got called out on another podcast he went on, and they said, oh, you're the whole thing with, they asked him, do you support the 170 elementary school girls that the president had killed? And he goes, I don't know anything about that. But then they figured out his grift. The reason he supported Trump, he's trying to sell all these Trump cookbooks. He pretends to know things, but on a map he literally could not find, and he was using one with shipping that shows shipping. He could not find Iran on the map. He literally went all the way to around, and eventually he finds where the Straits of Hormuz. He can't even pronounce the word, but he still doesn't know where Iran is, right above it. And I've talked about what's going on. I know exactly what's going on in Iran, but Jeremy doesn't do any research, and he's stupid. And then, but this whole thing on Kino Casinos, they just point out this stuff. They never brought up Jeremy's wife. He did. He's always brought her up, brought her name up. In fact, he's even shown, I guess, pictures of her. They blurred her out. I don't know if they've done I know someone showed a video of them sitting there jokingly saying they flagged somebody. I don't know if that's true. That's fucked up if it is. But this whole thing to tell Josh Moon, I can start with their YouTube channel, then take their Kick channel, which he has no traffic on. He doesn't do Kick really. He has a channel like I do, but I haven't done anything on Kick. I might eventually. But the thing here is, he's a complete grifting piece of shit who pretend he wants to act smart, but he's stupid. He admits to shitting his pants in public. I think he did it at Walmart. There's a video, a music video, animated me that, yeah, where he's at Walmart and he's saying he shit his pants. This guy says things that make you want to laugh at him. He's not smart. He's stupid. He drinks. He has a drinking problem, and doing this whole false flag shit on Kino Casino instead of just let it be like DSP does, like Ethan Ralph. Like, hell, they've gone after everybody. They went after all the Jeremy's literally the king of locales. No, anybody who's got a, that you look at and you go, okay, DSP, Ethan Ralph, Ethan Van Sciver, they went after him for being a complete, clown and has not finished one comic book, and apparently he's also going after people. Other people are having their channels attacked because they're showing clips and stuff and talking about this. So yeah, and I'm a small channel, but somebody at YouTube has helped Jeremy to proceed. And if they don't stop this, YouTube's gonna die, because if let's say Kino Casino gets a lawyer who knows this stuff legally. There's a few lawyers that do YouTube. I know that Legal Mindset's his license is in Florida, and I think he's what they call a corporate lawyer. I'm not really sure. He's mentioned what his law degree is in. There's Sevvi, Sevvi. She's a lawyer by trade. There's Nate the lawyer. There's all these lawyers who could come in and theoretically help Kino Casino, because they're in Canada, by the way, to sue Jeremy and possibly YouTube for this crap in court in California. Or Wisconsin, where Jeremy lives. They have two places they could sue. He lives in Wisconsin, and YouTube's headquarters are in California. So you have two places to sue him, two states. They could theoretically sue me, but the fact that if they do, it is expensive to hire a lawyer to go to court and everything over this shit. They're hoping that with enough people talking to their reps, people that they talk to, representatives. I'm not that big of a person on YouTube. I couldn't even get my old YouTube channel back. And this whole thing is basically Jeremy's being a dick, and instead of just letting it stop, he's ruining himself. And, so I just want to talk about that real quick. This is Gilgamesh. I will talk to you later. Bye.